I'm going to do a quick video on overcoming your fears using hypnotherapy. And so I thought I'd give you a quick kind of explanation as to how hypnotherapy can, like that, overcome fears. So the thing with fears is that there is a story running inside of you. There is a catastrophe running inside of you that feels very strong. It feels like your truth. And you might even not understand why. You might know at the back of your mind that it's completely irrational, and yet it doesn't really matter, because at the moment that you're on the cliff edge, you have this magnificent fear of heights. Or it could be a fear of doing something which is incredibly important to you, that you really want to do, but you're afraid to do it. What I've discovered from hypnotherapy on myself and on hypnotherapy on other people is the power that these stories, that these fixed ideas have upon our perception, upon our understanding of what we think it is that we're going through in the current moment. And it doesn't matter how much we try and rationalize it away, because that thinking process isn't strong enough to beat the gut, because the gut is afraid. And so you can get trapped in a sort of a fight, flight, freeze moment, in a frozen moment where you kind of want to make a step forward. And so that's where hypnotherapy comes in, for me at least. Because in my understanding, what is happening in hypnotherapy is that you are aligning this critical thinking part of you with the rest of you, with the part of you which is responsible for those feeling responses, which appear to be so much more powerful than the intellectual responses. Because when intellect and imagination are in conflict, it turns out that the gut always wins. It turns out that the catastrophic imagination does its job and protects you. And so you don't go forward, you don't progress, you stay stuck in that moment. And so what I've discovered from hypnotherapy is that you can realign the imagination. You can realign your understanding of the way that things should be, in order that you can free that imagination, you can free that gut to take the steps that you want to do, but that you're afraid to do. So I'm not going to go through the process with you right now, but you can find other videos that I've done about self-hypnosis. So basically there's two ways you can do this. One is you can learn self-hypnosis. You can learn how to do this to yourself, which involves going through a ceremony of placing yourself into a state where the chattering part of your mind, the inner critic, if you want to call it that, is quieter. Doesn't go away completely, but it's quieter. That allows you to build a stronger relationship with the rest of your organism, effectively. So rather than thinking that your brain is in charge of the ship, like the captain of the ship, you're kind of allowing the captain to be all of your body rather than just the thinking part. So you can do that yourself, and then you simply bring a sense of intention, a question, an objective, and you go with it and you see what you notice in your body. You identify the feeling, you listen to the feeling, perhaps you exaggerate the feeling and you have a conversation with the feeling. Maybe you want to objectify the feeling, maybe you want to put the feeling out in front of you as if it were a thing. Give it a name, give it a shape, give it a color, give it a texture, give it a movement, give it a temperature, give it whatever it feels right in that moment, but put it out in front of you and have a discussion with it. Notice the feeling, and then perhaps find a different feeling inside of your body and allow the two of them to have a conversation together. You can do this entirely on your own once you're in that state where your inner critic, where this critical part of your mind is not jumping in all the time going, hang on, this is nonsense. Yeah. So you can do that. But if that sounds a little too far, a little beyond the pale, well, then go to someone who can guide you through the process. Because once you've been guided through the process once or twice, my word, you can do this to yourself, right? You can guide yourself, and you've effectively got a toolbox which allows you to fix your own issues. Now, this is incredibly powerful when it comes to fighting your fears, because the end result of that is that you suddenly have unlimited potential. It doesn't mean that you can do anything in the world, but it means that you free yourself from the chains that you've created yourself through your meaning-making machine. Yeah, so you're still limited by your organism, by your physiology, but you're not limited by your imagination. And the thing is, your imagination is the one that keeps you clamped in to the chains of the prison of your mind, sort of thing. So once you've reconciled yourself with that imagination, once you've noticed that you're able to shift through shifting your imagination, well, then the keys to the kingdom are open. Okay. So that's why I heartily recommend hypnotherapy in a sort of a, well, maybe not a nutshell, but in a shortened form. I hope that makes sense, and I would highly encourage you to go and check it out. If you have a look, I've got some other videos which will guide you in a state of self-hypnosis. Now, obviously, I don't know you, I don't know who's watching this, so the guided meditations that I come out with are ones that I guess are broadly applicable to everyone. So you're going to have to hop on to the bits of those which are most appropriate to you and kind of ignore the bits which you just don't relate to. But that's a choice, so you can do that yourself. Or if you prefer, you know, go and do it with an individual who can guide you into the process. Because once you've done it a few times, you can just become an expert at bringing yourself into this state whenever you choose to do so. And you've got the ultimate toolbox to your personal well-being. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. I hope that's food for thought. I hope it will encourage you to take that step and enjoy this beautiful view in the meantime. Take care.